Hey Fighter Light Warriors, happy Saturday. I just wanted to talk to you about facing your fears. Everyone says so, we gotta face our fears, gotta be strong, have courage, be brave, all that, we know, blah, blah, blah. But how do we feel? There's such a big difference between knowing what to say, knowing how to feel, versus how we feel deep inside. And my life has always had the red line or like the theme of if I don't do all I can for myself and make sure that I listen to my heart only and I don't think twice about what can happen, what can go wrong. If I just trust my heart, I feel invincible, I feel confident, I feel like nothing can stop me. As long as I have myself and I keep on believing in myself in an uphill battle kind of way, because life is tough and there's gonna be like swimming upstream, that's what I say, because you gotta be ready for that. I feel that this is the life that I always wanted. Every day is the way I wanted to live. And to be in the moment and really feel that today is the best day ever. And tomorrow, if I'm lucky to have a day, it's gonna be the best day tomorrow again, because I get to do what I love to do and I can do it again. Like I really have trained myself into really love today, because all I do is, this is all I wanted to do with my life is what I'm doing. But what if I had not registered it? Imagine if I didn't know that all I am today and do and think and have and all is exactly perfect. What if I could never see it? And if you have goals in life and you're striving, it's very easy to kind of always be stuck in a forever waiting for the finish line or waiting for enough has become result. We are all achievement wired. And for me, I was never like that except for one or two big goals in my life. One, I was gonna build my muscles and be strong and inspire people. I wanted to move to California like Arnold. So I put everything on one gamble and gave it my all. Not one day, not one moment have I ever regretted that. That's why I have a huge gratitude to myself, because I know how many times I could have just quit. I know how many times I thought I cannot do this. I know how many times this felt like I don't know how to come up from this. All those moments, if I hadn't had the courage, I wouldn't be where I am now. I would have lost all this happiness. I've been on the other side of happiness. I've been very, very depressed, not even knowing it. I've been sad, just like everyone else. But what I never gave up was my tenacity, that I do not want to live my life unless I'm happy, because I hate my shitty, grumpy attitude, personality who doesn't have it my way. And now a lot of people might think that this have it my way is so selfish, that there's no compromises, there's no, that everything is happy-go-lucky. But no, that is incorrect, because I'm not asking for happy, easy, simple, easy, no problem, because that's not life. Life is problems. That's why I say it's pro-bliss. If you don't have problems, you're not going to grow. And what the heck are we doing with life if we're not here to become our best versions? It's easy to say face your fears and be strong and confident, for instance, when you have nothing that is dangerous for your situation. So let's say you come from a rich family. Well, you have financially security. Be careful what you wish for, because I know a lot of people who are filthy rich, are still depressed, are still not happy, and they keep on buying stuff or looking for something, go to a therapist, and still cannot be happy, because they're still stuck with this kind of what is next, what is going to be exciting now. And they never learn that is human nature, that if you never learn to be happy just because, you're never gonna be in the moment. There's always gonna be something, and when you look forward to, let's say, when we bought, I remember back in the days when I thought I wanted to buy shoes, that was the high. Because I never had money, so now I had it. I wanted all the stuff that stands for I made it. Now I'm like embarrassed, but that was part of my journey. I would say I'm not embarrassed, but I'm embarrassed that I could think like that, because now it's like that was so far from what I am. But that was growing. We all have the stepping stones, and I refuse to hold on to them. So when people say, well, you used to think this, you used to say that, I say, yeah, you did, but I was an idiot. And that is something I noticed, that few people tend to want to talk about themselves in the past. I do, not because I live in the past, because if I ask anyone who's today living and talking like they are in the past about me or what they do, anything, I don't want to entertain that, because I'm not the person that you're talking to that is with you in your past mind that you're living in. So there's a time to adapt and overcome and kind of just let go. And that's another thing. It's so easy to say, let go, right? And then it comes back anyway. And people love to hold on to grudges and things against you. Almost like you wonder, do they have a secret stash of things they're gonna slam back at you? If you open up and you're vulnerable, they're gonna attack. And I know that. I still show up with all my openness, because I'm just willing to take all the punches. I've always been like that, because I know I have the strength to take it. I know I will never back down from myself. I know I have that passion, and in my heart I can handle all the pains. And I'm so grateful that I just refuse to hold on to everything the whole world tends to say we gotta live like this. Because to me it seems like everyone wants to try to get me to believe in fears and only be feared and think about everything negative and everything that can go wrong. What if I can't train? What if I can't live? What if I can't talk? What if something goes wrong? What if, but that is just life. So what am I gonna do? Gonna stop living because I might die? That's a given. And it wasn't long ago since I just got this kind of just peace that there was nothing I was scared of anymore at all. Because I had really dug up all my fears in my mind to look at, what is it really? I did that. I took up all the stuff that I didn't even want to talk or think about, because it just made me so furious and so scared and anxious of just simply the thought of what if, and then I don't even want to go down there, the whole running away. So I stopped doing that and just picked out the things that I thought was fear. And here is one nice little example. I talk about the earthquake fears. That every time my mind is like, what if there's an earthquake? Yeah, what am I going to do? Here's a typical example. Instead of just keeping on hoping to be happy, because I don't get feeling any comfortable with being so-called, assured. It doesn't help me anything that people or anyone or myself would say, don't worry, nothing will happen. I know that's not true. That's not true. It has to happen. But instead, I investigated and searched about everything about earthquakes. I studied it. I have always been interested in seismology, and nature, and that is absolutely natural thing, and it's supposed to be. It's the transformation of Mother Nature and the planet. So it's all natural, like it's supposed to be. It's like bodybuilding for the universe is what earthquakes are. So I got it. But that wasn't enough for me to kind of have no fears that I cannot do anything about. So what I did, I really thought, okay, Pauline, what is this biggest fear that you have? That is me, my mind thing, that I'm standing on this cliff and there's an earthquake and I have to jump into the big fire like pit, right? And I'm just imagining the burns and the fears, and I have to. And then I realized, like, what heck is that? So I researched it, and this is the hilarious thing I laugh at every day. So I said to myself, I said, so, you know what? If there's a big earthquake, and there will be them, the worst thing is gonna be that you're gonna have to take a big dive right into it for 5 inches. Because well, I educated myself, and apparently that little crack, I thought it was a mile deep down. I was gonna fly down into that myself, right, in an earthquake. Like if even I had time to stand there in an earthquake, right, to wait to jump off. It's like, except for my skydiving days. Apparently I have no problem going in a MiG-29 up to 8 Gs in Russia, but apparently I make this mind goes, right? So that made me laugh so hard. I think like jumping out here like 5 inches, that was all. And then here is the dichotomy of fears, because they're not rational. Then I thought, well, Pauline, so what is the big problem then with earthquakes? That is the crashing down on you. So let's say I'm in a big building, right? So then the whole building would probably just break down on me, and there I am, and I would be hit by a brick, concrete. Well, that is funny, because I have no fears of that at all. Apparently, what is most likely would happen, I have no fears. So hitting things on my head, getting stuck under stuff, no, that doesn't bother me. So that's what I mean. You have to find a way that you can override your fears, to find the loophole. So for me in my life, it's just, I just can't live holding on to fears. I just go under. I get too much anxiety. I don't want to live like that, because I know in any moment everything could be over. And that for me is kind of a, it feels like a blessing. It feels so good to know it's not going to be forever. And that I say that I love every day. I don't want it to end, but I also have no problem that it will, because that's life. But it's so important to not sit here and wait for when everything is going to be normal, because there's no normal but today. It's so important not to hold on to all these fears, and letting people be close to you and keep on making you have fears. That is not what friends should be. And if they don't understand how to handle your fears, instead of just kind of thinking about themselves, selfishly want you to have shared fear, because fear wants misery and it grows. So if someone is scared of something, they're gonna try without bad intent to have you have the fear too, because it's less scary if everyone is scared in a crowd. Well, that is not how I live, and I'm not a crowd person. I'm a loner, I'm an troglodyte, I'm a solitary person. I would say that it's almost like I feel like I'm living, well, I just do my whole routine and mindset and body, and I'm so happy in bliss with that every day. But the personal growth of doing this, the way that I can handle this for myself, all comes from my meditation. Before 4 years ago when I started every day, it was more of my ego strength. So it was more about all these things people hold on to, the power, the validation, we want approval, we want to be the best, and all that stuff. That is part of the journey, because we have to have drive, we have to have goals and ambitions. But then it also has to have a chapter on its own, right? Like, what is that fire, the fight we have when we're young to get to where we want to be? There comes a time where that fight has to be no more against ourselves. Like, I will never again beat myself up about anything. I will never again let myself down. I will never again make choices that I know I'm going to regret later, because life is short and I love to be happy every day. And who can make me happy? Only myself. And it doesn't matter how much people love to try to psych people out. Like, that when you're a public person like me, then I'm not famous at all, but people have access to me and they love to kind of try to get under my skin. And the way I handle the fears about that is I just give myself 400% all out. I'm not holding back anything. I'm not trying to be better than anyone. I'm just honest and following my heart, and I say with all the passion. And if people cannot see it, well, I must either be fake, because I feel like it's so evident that I have my heart too much invested, and I have no problem being, letting people just be people, because I still love them more than I don't. Because I can only work this way if I just love and love and love. And fears cannot win over love, because I love what I do. I love what I am about. And this is what I feel the world needs. People who are happy and not backing down to fit in. I don't want to fit in this crowd, but I want people to be freed up and stop having this comparison, to think you're never going to be good enough. It hurts so bad in my heart to think that just because you've had a body that wasn't made fit, or you're overweight and now you're never gonna have tight skin or whatever. I really don't want that to be the stopper for you to go all out for your health, for your happiness. And imagine if you could just change the way you thought and you were the most beautiful, the most perfect, the most amazing, mesmerizing person, everything about you. And how could you not want to study that? How could you not want to observe and really get to know who is that you are? Instead of listening to everyone else or friends or family who are all stuck in the past of what they think you are, their image about you, their myth and how you are for them. Remember, people in general, without bad intent, just think, what kind of purpose or service are you in their life? You are a marionette puppet in everyone else's life. You are only the star and the leader of your own. So imagine if you're not taking leadership, then you're gonna be holding on to fears and insecurities, and anything someone will want to try to make you feel inferior will be used against you. And if you don't learn how to never listen, not let it hit to you, just see where it's coming from, you see how you can spend your whole life almost like you're like a little bag in the wind, and you know, whatever happens, you're just gonna be thrown and tossed away. When I'm too scared, or I feel like I don't know what to do with myself, you know, when you just feel almost like you're shaking like a little leaf, I know that that is just a feeling. And what if everything I believe in will be? What if? There's 50-50, right? I will have no more benefit from not believing, but I have 100% in knowing the trend of my life that I have known and I know is that what you think and you envision and you keep on believing, it's your passion. That's what you become real. Because I'm here for a reason. I'm not in Sweden, and I don't have the chubby body that I had. I have my lean physique, and I'm not hangry. I'm happy because I didn't quit on everything that I want to be happy. And I have never been as happy as I am today, and tomorrow too. And that is with everything involved in life, just like you. I have my stuff, but everything that you call life happens to me is just another opportunity to make sure that I know what I'm doing and why, because life's short. And there's only so much time to, you know, to make things happen, because it gets tough. And with time, you're just not gonna be as young, and you're just gonna have more and more experiences that hold against you, you know? So don't let that come to you. Instead, think about just being, you don't even remember. You are you today. You can be whoever you want to be. You just have to be consistent. And remember, you might think that I want what I want, you know? But what if all you want is not coming to you because you're not really wanting it out of your heart? That's a really good safety mechanism, that you will not get what you want because you're not focusing on what you truly want to do and be and make happen. So all these fears and scary situations and fights, and well, you know, when you feel like everything is that, when you're holding on to people, you're feeling, you know, strings and attachments and people holding on to you and try to make you scared of leaving, and you know, trying to fear you to think like you are nothing without them or you need them, you know. What if you notice they're just bluffing? You don't need anything, you have yourself. You don't need anything, you have everything yourself. They might think so because they're not aware. But once you're above that, you see through all these human tendencies that other people don't see, because when you have them, you're part of a crowd and everyone is the same way. Everyone competes, everyone compares, everyone wants to be pretty and beautiful and hide and shame or make other people feel less worthy. That is the low level people, but that's how power people, you know, people who just don't care. But how can they live with themselves? I don't think they can. So when it comes down to it, it's still how you are living and what you do according to your heart or not. And fears are not in heart, and fears are there for a reason, to make sure that you defy them and you keep on. Because there's nothing but happiness and growth and things to work, because there's nothing that you have to fear in failure or success. Because if you make it, you're gonna be happy anyway. And yeah, you cannot stop because you're gonna be scared of succeeding. And if you don't do anything because you're scared, or what if you fail? Well, why don't you think about muscle failure? Because that's the whole point. We fail on choice, because that is how you become your greatest and strongest. So never back down, and remember, I'm fearless, I'm strong, we're gonna make it. We're fearless, we're strong, we're gonna make it.